Okay, top of the hour here. Let's go ahead and get started. Hopefully everybody can see my screen coming up shortly here. And for right now, again, let me just describe for those of you who are maybe on this call for the first time or on the webinar for the first time, this is my weekly JV Partner webinar event where I coach live and in person my JV partners. Some of them, it looks like today, I'm solo because a lot of them sometimes have work to do and can't make it onto the call. But what I do is I work with the people that I have this sort of deep JV partner kind of relationship with, and you get to watch, listen, and observe as I give them advice on what they're doing and how to do it. I also, at some point, will encourage you to ask questions, and you can do that down in the question box that you see in your GoToWebinar control panel. So I see some more people are arriving, but this is the weekly JV event. And so let me just give any of the partners. I see that Avish is about to get on. He can't hear me yet. And he will be with us shortly. 1 second, because Avish will join us, and then I can be talking with one of the JV partners. And I see, Avish, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Good, excellent. Okay, so I was going to see if I was going to be doing this solo or with someone, so it makes it a little bit easier to get some feedback. The first thing that I wanted to do is to let you know, this is Avish's site, by the way, here, which is speakingexpert.com. Please visit that site. Lots of good stuff there for you to take advantage of, as well as some free information as well. And Avish, I did something really interesting that relates to, and you can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring this up because I have been, as you know, and for people who are on the webinar that may not know this, I've been starting to play poker, and I'm thinking of doing it more and more seriously. And so I went in this time, when was it, last night? Yeah, I guess it was, no, the night before. Night before last, I went into my local casino. It's about a mile and a half from where I live in Vegas or Henderson. And I took a different attitude. And the attitude that I took was, and you can relate to this because Avish, you played a little bit of poker. I said, how would I play if I had to win, or they would, take me out and shoot me? So in other words, if I took this attitude that I wouldn't permit myself to lose, how would I play? As a result of adopting that strategy, I left in an hour and a half with approximately 3 times more than I walked in with.
Wow.
And I think that it really affected how I play. And so I think that oftentimes, the same thing could probably be said for any pursuit, but I think that in information marketing, it's probably true as well that, you tend to approach things kind of differently if you have to make them work versus, you're just doing it kind of for fun. And it was interesting to see. And so now I'm going to try and do that every time I walk in and make it sort of a habit to remind myself of that fact. But it was really interesting because I was, I played things very differently. So that's, I don't want to bore anybody with all the poker talk, but that was one of the things that I found really interesting as well. So now, Avish, let's get into some stuff here. So now, what have you done? I know you're busy with a lot of other things going on right now, but tell us a little bit about what's going on at speakingexpert.com. Any changes, any updates, any this or that or the other?
Well, I updated the home page. We had talked about putting in a whole bunch of text at the bottom, which I just ripped off from Bill Deweese's site and kind of re-edited to make more, geared towards speakers.
Got it.
So that happened last week. I don't, it's weird because I guess Google's been making some changes because my Market Samurai used to let me check on the top 1,000 results. Now they've done some changes so I can only check the top 100. So I haven't noticed any movement in the high end yet, but like I said, this was only updated last week, so.
Yeah, well, speaking of Google changes, issue number 2 here, Google changes. As a result of whatever changes they made, I got bumped out of the #1 spot for info marketing. So, and it dropped my traffic from about 1,700 visitors down to 700.
Jeez.
So again, it proves the point that being in the number one position is incredibly valuable. I'm also going to be. I bumped into a guy, and by the way, one of the things that everyone should be aware of is I have two of my larger sources of revenue come from webmarketingmagic.com, and I should probably show people, because this is an example of something where you don't have to pay any money in order to make money. So if you go to webmarketingmagic.com, you click down here on the resellers button, then you click on I'd like to become an affiliate partner, and all of a sudden you're getting 30% once you fill this out of the action. And so 30%, and the way that the numbers work are, if there's 100% total, 50% goes to what I'll call the mother company, the mothership. That's not me, by the way. And if you sign up as an affiliate, 30% goes to you, and then 20% goes to me. So anybody who signs up under me as an affiliate is actually making more percentage-wise than I am on every sale. And by the way, those numbers are given you. You're given those dollars every month if somebody signs up for a monthly contract. So it's an ongoing, sort of forever kind of a deal. The other thing is that in addition to Web Marketing Magic, I do a lot of work. And if you go to sell domains for profit.com, that's another thing in which you are being given, and I make even a smaller percentage on that, and that's for mainly selling domain names and hosting and other things. So I would encourage everybody who's on this event or watching it, whether it's live or on tape, if you will, that they can go to both those sites and sign up for both of them for free and get checks every month. And it literally is the easiest money that I make. And both of these, Web Marketing Magic and Sell Domains for Profit, are things where you don't have to do any of the customer support yourself. And that's really worthwhile. But Avish, back to Speaking Expert. So tell me, what's been your experience with the Google update and what's happening with the site?
Oh, well, I was just saying that I don't know. Google's update hasn't really affected the traffic's been the same, which was never spectacular to begin with. But whatever they did on their back end, I guess they're a third-party issue because the Market Samurai, when I went in with these new keywords that this was optimized for, plus I just did another blog post which I actually optimized for a search term. I went in Market Samurai to at least get a baseline just to see. And
first off, remind everybody what Market Samurai is.
Oh, Market Samurai was a piece of software that it basically does all these SEO type things, research type tools for you. It checks out your competitors. It does keyword analysis. It does a rank tracker, and it's got a lot of other features. So it was more useful. But now when I went in to run it, it popped up a warning window that said, we can't do as many searches on Google, and you have to do a delay. And it used to let you, for checking your ranks on keywords, see where you stood. It used to let you see if you were anywhere in the top 1,000. Now the most I can check is the top 100. Which obviously, if you're between 100 and 1,000, it's not really going to impact your traffic. But I kind of wanted to see where I was just so I could see if these efforts are moving things up the chain at all.
Yeah, you wanted to see if you moved up from 498 to 301.
Exactly, just to see that we're headed in the right direction. So, as of right now, all I know is that most of the terms are not in the top 100. Although, to be fair, when we talk about the Google change, now that I think about it, there were a couple terms that were in the top 100 that, when I ran this last one, none of them were, so I need to go take a look at that.
Okay, so then, so tell me, what are you trying to optimize this homepage for? Which keywords?
Public speaking training. You'll see the word public speaking training quite a bit. And then the secondary keyword is public speaking coach. You'll see on there as well.
I do. And so you've targeted for this, and this is what everybody needs to think about, I think, is, that every page, Google looks at every page as sort of a separate entity. And so what you're trying to do is not compete with yourself, meaning to say that each page is targeting individual keywords or keyword strings, right?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, and so this one is, so you've taken two of them, public speaking and public speaking training, and made those your primary ones. So that will appear quite a bit as we see public speaking training, again, public
Yeah, it's really more public speaking training. And like I said, I just used the Bill DeWeese one, so same thing there. So public speaking training, you can see, is in the H2 tags. It's really the key one.
Yeah, so you basically copied what Bill is doing because it's working. And let me just take a look at if we do the, I want Mike's, there it is. Let's see if what, let's see here, page rank checker. Oh man, I hate it when I do this because it always throws up something in the back. Page rank checker, is this the right one? I think so. Huh, okay. Let's see, so if we put in, let me just see where Bill.
Well, PageRank is going to just give you the Google PageRank.
Oh, is it? So this is not the right one, huh? Let's see here. Mike's. Which one do I click on here?
Let me see. Might be under the free keyword tool. I'm not sure. I got it up mine, trying to find it here too.
Huh. Anyway, I don't find it, so I'm not going to worry about it. But let me just go to and Google voice over training and see. The problem is my results will be skewed here. But let's see. He's coming up number 3. If you do it on your side, Avish, what are you getting for voice over training? 3 words.
If I just do a straight Google search?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's coming at number 3 over here as well.
Okay, so now try voice over business and see what you get there. And I'm getting, I've got number 3 here as well. I've got him in number 3 and number 4 spot.
Yeah, I got him at number 3 and at number 4.
Both videos, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so, I mean, whatever Bill is doing is working and working fairly well. So we should probably, like you said, I think it's a good idea to continue to use whatever it is he's doing. So voice-over-training.org is a good place for anyone who is looking to optimize the site to look at and try and emulate. So what you did is you took some of the stuff that he did on this page and did the same thing but for public speaking, right? Oh, I like it. You even used the same graphic.
I did. Well, I was trying to find different ones, and I couldn't find anything that matched that, so I wasn't sure. Now, the text is very similar, which gave me a little pause in terms of duplicate content. So I may need to go back in there and kind of re-edit it a bit or spin it a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that since you're trying to optimize for different keyword terms, I think that's the main thing. So, but I don't know enough about this to say. So what you're saying is you use some of the same verbiage.
Yeah, that's kind of my opinion as well.
Yeah, again, who knows whether or not that's right, but you know, we think it is. So it's worth taking a look. So now, when did you make? You just did that yesterday?
No, that page got edited last week, like Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay, so it's been about a week.
Yeah.
So 1 week since Avish started. So what we're going to be looking for is, the problem is right now, for those keywords you said, you know, you're not even in the top 100, right?
Correct.
Okay, so let's see what happens when, you know, you just sort of put the date down or whatever and see when you do break into the top 100 and then hopefully move up and up and up.
Yeah, let's hope so. That's
cool.
the goal there.
Okay, so what else did I want to share with the group? I think that the poker example is a good one. By the way, a lot of times what I try and do, and this is where I have a sort of a different approach. A lot of people are pretty mercenary with how they run their information marketing business, where they try and figure out what they can make money with and then go do it, as opposed to, let's see, what do I like to do and see whether or not you can make money with it. But poker is a really, really good, that's one of those areas that there's plenty of opportunities, but plenty of competition as well. One of the things that I thought was interesting that was missing that I didn't see is I could find very few places that have live poker training in Las Vegas. Sort of like, live, and I think I actually reserved a domain name. I think I did live poker training Las Vegas or something like that, I forget. But the whole idea here is I kept looking around for a school to go to, some actual, like they have dealer schools in Vegas to teach you how to become a dealer. But there's no poker schools teaching you how to become a better poker player. Now, occasionally, some of the big poker stars who are either based in Vegas or, come to Vegas a lot will do events where they hold a very expensive high-end boot camp, and they hold it in Las Vegas. But I think it'd be kind of cool to have some kind of a school, a poker school, where people could literally get off the plane and before they go play a single hand of poker, go to a school, whether it's a sort of an abbreviated program to just give them basics, or an intermediate or more advanced one. But so that's what I was thinking, that taking again something that I already have an interest in, try and make money with it, as opposed to trying to make money with something I have no interest in. And I think that that's pretty important as well. So I know, Avish, for you that would mean something improv wise, and again you've got speaking is a big thing for you as well. So that's why this is, I think we're on the right track. We just got to figure out the particulars of how to make it work.
Yeah.
I have another thing that I'd like to share with you and everybody else, which is, my experience. I had an experience, and I don't want to even put their name up here again because I don't want to give them any press, but I had an experience with writers that was very poor, and I had an experience where people, this outfit said that they had writers, and I gave them a job, and the English was so poor it had to be redone. And so then I asked around, and I put out something to my list, and I said I was willing to give writers anywhere between 2 cents and 4 cents per word. And I got really lucky. I won't tell you who it is because I don't want to share too much of that with anybody. And just to give you an idea what this means, so at 3 cents a word, that equates to, on a 3,000 word article, $90. Now that's a little higher than I was paying with these other people that I found, but man, the level of quality is because I found something. And I think that everyone who's listening to this, and this person is writing articles for me and doing all that. So the next one, she just finished writing one that's 3,000. It's probably going to be around, 5,000 words. And that one, let's assume the same price, so that's going to be $150. So let's go through the math on this. This is payment for the ghostwriter. Very bright, very good ghostwriter, by the way. When she did the last thing for me, I only had just two critiques for her. And so she did a great article, and here are my two elements that I wanted to change, or two criticisms, which were, and this was something that I'm sure she could correct. Number one was, first, I like shorter, more, more list-oriented articles. Hers was a little bit more just sort of, put into paragraph form, et cetera, et cetera. And then number two is I wanted a more staccato writing style, because I tend to write, very much sort of, little short sentences, et cetera, et cetera. And hers were different than mine. And she said, "Oh, those two things, those are those are easy to do. I got it. So I contracted with her to do this next article at $150, which is about 5,000. Assume it's 500 words, 5,000 words. It'll come out to $150. So then, and I'm going to erase some of this here so I can have more space. So what happened was, first off, let me give you a little bit about her background. She is a lawyer, and she's a good writer. Don't tell her that, though, because the rate will go up. But so she's involved doing this, and she's, she does a really good job. From the first article I saw, and I'll see the second one, which will be closer to my style, which would be great. But let's go through the numbers on this. Okay, so let's look at the cost. So if you wanted to do a bunch of articles and put them up on the Kindle store, so you've got your writing cost, and in this case, we're going to make it $150. You've got your ebook cover cost, and given the fact we get them down at Fiverr, $250 per. So $250 each. So you're now looking at, and there really there aren't any other costs per se. So let's just say it's $150. Now, if you put this out there at $2.99, which is the lowest level on Kindle, lowest level for a 70% royalty. So now what happens is, and it's a little bit more than this, but for example purposes, it's $2 per article sold at $2.99. So that means that in order to break even, so 75 units, actually probably 76 units, is the break-even point. So again, I think I looked at, because I do have my spreadsheet here that I can share with everybody as well. Here's the spreadsheet. Let me small this down so I can show it. So the spreadsheet from my Kindle books here, and what I've done, you'll find this interesting, Vish. What I did was I took all the titles and wrote them here. Can you see that, by the way, Vish?
Yep, I can see it.
So I got 35 marketing tips. These are all the various things I have, and next to it, this number here. Whoops, don't want to do that. This number in parentheses after the title is the number of reviews, because what I've been doing is trying to assess, why certain articles are succeeding and why others aren't. And as it turns out, there's some rhyme and reason, but sometimes it's still confusing. So in this case, this article, no reviews. This article, no reviews. This one, 8 reviews. This is 0, 0. This one's 7. This is 2. This is 11. This is 6. This is 38. Oh, wait a second. That's not right. That can't be right. No, that's definitely not right. It's definitely not 38. That's incorrect. And the other thing that I did is I put the link, my go.gl link, which everybody should know about by now. If you haven't, you should get set up. But this go-gl link allows me to find the place quickly and track it. So I'm going to go here. Where'd that go? Is that the one I was just doing? I guess. I erased the. Okay, so remember how it had 38 right here in this 0 box here? Avish, you remember that?
Is putting the what?
Do you remember? Can you hear me, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you remember that I had in this box here, in this box right here, I had mistakenly put in 38 as the number of reviews. That was wrong. So I'm going to go there right now to that link, pull it up. So here is how to create a killer seminar website. So there's 3 reviews now, and couple things here. So I'm trying to find out by looking at the spreadsheet what's the common denominator here of the ones that are selling. Like right now, Marketing Your Coaching Services here has 26 units sold so far this month. That is, and 16 is the How to Market and Sell Your Own ebook. Now, a portion of the reason why the Market and Sell Your Own ebook is doing well is because it was just released. So I had been telling people about it all over the place, social media, via email, et cetera, et cetera. So it's not surprising that that's the case. But, I look at all these other ones, Avish, and I'm trying to say to myself, like from last month, your book in 30 days or less was 18 people. That's here. This one was 88, which is huge. And by the way, look at this. 88 people bought that. It's only got a 2 next to its marketing coaching university. Marketing or coaching services, I should say.
So, well, now there's no clear information about optimizing for Amazon results, is there?
No, there isn't. It's just sort of play it by ear. But I mean, I'm sort of looking at. I tried to come up with a list of the various things why my book was selling well in Amazon.
Well, no, I understand that, but I mean, I'm wondering if just how high it ranks for certain key search terms. I mean, I was watching an interview on one of the blogs I follow. It was about fiction writing, but this guy was talking about how he got obsessed with just tweaking his Amazon metadata, which made it rise higher in the rankings. He didn't have any real specifics because no one really knows what Amazon does. But I'm wondering if there's something to play with tweaking the description to see if you can get it to rank higher in the Amazon results. Because I think that would probably lead to a direct, because everything you can tweak is based on increasing the percentage of the people who buy once they get to your page.
No, that's, yeah, I mean, well, yeah, it is. So are you saying that you think that do you think he's saying that the editorial, the product description here affects results?
It affects where, I think according to him, it affects where you end up in Amazon's, it's one factor in where you end up in Amazon search results.
Does he know that for a fact?
He does not, but he said that when he tweaked it, he saw his ranks go up, and that led directly to more sales.
Well, wait. Let me make sure I understand this. Are you saying that it was the product description, this editorial review area, is what he's tweaking, what I'm looking at right now?
I'll need to go back and re-listen to what exactly he said. They're referring to it as metadata, which I don't know if that's the stuff that's in the product description or if it's somewhere else.
I think the metadata has to do with the, and I can show you here. Let's just go to one of these. So if we're going into my account, as far as I'm concerned, I think the metadata refers to, let me just show you here. Okay, so I'll pick one that I don't really care about as much here. So here, the metadata I think he's referring to is this right here. And I don't know if you can see that, these keywords here.
Mm-hmm.
Those are, I think, the metadata that he's referring to.
It could be. I'll go listen to it again and see if that's what they were referring to, if they were talking also about the description and whatnot.
Yeah,
but it might be worth playing around with like one title just to see if.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, that's the whole thing is now. So let's take this as an example. So this is 35 seminar marketing tips. So obviously, I'm trying to optimize for seminar marketing. So let's just see if I put in under, and again, let's assume it's Kindle Store, and I put in seminar marketing. Now, chances are my own book that's specifically been doing that for a year will show up pretty high. Well, seminar marketing, try it on your system and see where seminar marketing comes up, because it seems as if my own stuff is coming up. I wonder if it's similar to Google, that it might be misleading. And you know what? Everybody out that's watching the webinar right now, could you do me a favor and put it into your, go to Amazon, and under Amazon, go to the Kindle store, not just the general Amazon, but go to the Kindle store, put in seminar marketing, and let's find out where this 35 seminar marketing tips and secrets comes up. Just put a number as to the position that you find it in on your system. The reason why I'm asking you to do this is that if you start to do a lot of searches, you can skew your own results. So my having searched for this may have artificially pushed it higher. So go into Amazon, click on Kindle Store, put in the term seminar marketing, and then go ahead and put in the questions area what position number you're finding it showing up for. If you guys can do that now, it'd be helpful. Don says, but Don King, boxing promoter. Good to have you, Don. It's spelled with 2 N's away on the Don. He says, yep. So yeah, it's coming up number 1 for Don as well. So the term seminar marketing.
Yep, for me as well.
It is for you as well.
Yep.
Okay, so It looks as if, and if anybody else, Scott Straub says number one for Scott as well. Good. Thanks, guys. So that means that, I mean, and that's a pretty good keyword term. That's really what I'm trying to optimize for. So if we went back to, my system panel here, and we were to look at this again, let's find that particular one. So here's the thing. We're finding out some things that basically is proving to me that some of my other stuff is sucky. So one of my meta descriptions is seminar marketing, right? So that's coming up. Okay, let's try another test here before I give myself too much grief. Let's see here. So what about we just put in seminars, which is the other one? So seminars. Yeah, I'm coming up at the top of that as well. Both books. Are you guys getting that, everybody?
Oops.
Seminar I put in. Or let's put in seminars, same thing, let's see. Seminars, interesting how one of mine...
Seminar and seminars are very different for me.
Yeah, that's interesting. Huh. So I think that whatever you're... You know what? Do a little bit closer listening to what it is, or send me a link on that, because I'd like to try it and see what happens. I'm always amazed by... So here's this other guy who did the complete secrets to seminar success, but he's selling his at $9.99. And let's see what his rank is.
182,000.
Yeah, okay, so 182,000 is his rank. Then let's go to mine and find out what my rank is for this one. His was 182,000, right? Mine is... Ooh, somebody giving me a hard time there. It's not probably a competitor. I love this. But there's so many... It's sort of good, though. Let's see here. Where's my rank? I don't find my rank. Here it is. Can you find my rank, Avish? Here it is.
In a moment.
So mine is 233,000. Is that just... Yeah, that's bad. That's not good. So the point is, but then I look at my spreadsheet here, folks, and you can see that, again, it isn't doing that well, even with my own numbers. So this is, marketing your seminar, promoting your own seminars and workshops, that's this one. I sold 16 last month, and I've sold 3 so far this month. So I would suspect for seminar marketing, and by the way, you know what? Let's go back, because really we're talking about, this is the one that showed up real high. The 35, I think I put in seminar, right? So let's put in seminar, singular. And this one comes up, and this is the one I really want people to buy, and it's not selling. I think that this is not selling. I mean, this one has 32 people who have reviewed it, whereas this one has none. So I should probably try and get more people to review this and get that one up there. So again, point is, we need data in order to make sound decisions. And so I'm trying to isolate what is it. And this is what, I've said this before, but I mean, it's just amazing to me that this book that I made no effort to try and promote, which is this one right here, Marketing Your Coaching Services. And again, take a look. This is the one that sells every month better than anything else that I have. So if we put it Marketing Your Coaching Services, and we go to this one is, it's got 2 people who have reviewed it, Marketing Your Coaching Services, and it sells like crazy, 2 reviews, 6 likes, and look at how short the description is, Avish. It's not a long book, it's not a long description here, right? It is 171 pages. So I think that what I should probably do is take the things that are quantifiable, like the number of pages and everything else that's quantifiable, and put it into some kind of a spreadsheet and do some kind of a regression analysis or whatever the heck I have to do to try and figure out. My problem is I'm selling all of these copies. I honestly don't know what's working. I think I know. I think it might have something to do with the fact that marketing's in the title, but I can't prove that. The other things, this one, marketing is in this title. Marketing is in this title, and that's selling pretty decent. Market and sell is in this title, that's selling fairly well. So one would think that I am selling better for the term marketing and marketing related information, which is good because that's what I do, but it seems as if that's the case. So I just want to take a look at this data, and so there's more to this, and Avish, maybe you can report to us after you listen to that audio and maybe come up with a little summary, tell us what's going on, but I'm just baffled and I want to find out why things are selling. It's not just good that they're selling, I want to know why. Mm-hmm. Any other feedback on that? Am I missing something?
Not for me.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I don't think I'm missing anything. Anyway, so the point is, I've been talking lately a lot about the Kindle store only because, and by the way, I did, good news for everyone who's listening to this, at the reseller conference at Sell Domains for Profit.com, I was able to meet a guy who can he's become very, very good at getting like 1,000 visitors, not 1,000, 1,000,000 visitors to your site in like 90 to 120 days. So he has agreed to let me interview him, and we'll basically jointly own the copyright, so that similar to what I do with Bob Bly, we go sit down, create a recording, and then sell the recording. Both of us own the rights to that recording. So that's what we're going to do, and this guy is from this conference where I met him, and he knows a lot about this topic. If I can find his name, Bill, let me see, the Traffic Professor, I think his name is. And you guys don't need to buy anything from him right now. Is that his name? Yes. Okay, so this is who he is. His name is Bill Bellew, or Bellew. I forget how it's pronounced. I apologize if Bill ever hears this. I apologize. So this is the guy, the Traffic Professor. I like this. A, absurd, amusing, asinine. So he says here, I go into great detail what it takes by word count, post, blah, blah, to get 1,000,000 unique visitors to your web or blog site. I've done this with 10 different and unrelated topics. Does this pique your interest, Avish?
Absolutely.
Yes. Well, he has agreed to have me come to him in the Bay Area of San Francisco, or maybe he's going to come to Vegas, and we will record. He said it would be one long full day, so I'm assuming that's probably 8 to 10 hours. I don't know if it's audio or video, but I'm going to sit down with him and interview him on how he got this to happen, and then I'm going to make it available to you folks as well as to you, Avish, so that we can implement this on his, implement Bill's system. And I'm really curious because he it's working. He's doing it. So that'll be interesting. So when I get that information, I will get it to the rest of you, and we'll be able to do it. Don't go buy anything from Bill yet, because I'm not getting a dime worth of that. So I'll basically suck his brain into a bottle and give it to you in full elixir form. So
nice.
That's what I'll be doing here. Okay, so by the way, thanks everybody for getting me some data there. Yeah. Somebody was saying it could be the headline, which is what the title is. Yeah, perhaps. Most of my headlines are fairly consistent. Cover, yeah, these are all good. Title may or may not be the case. That's you may think you have the answer here, but when you see the data doesn't really indicate that. So, I mean, for example, marketing your coaching services isn't necessarily the most killer headline or title that there is. And so I think there's a lot more to it. And because the thing about titles on all of these Kindle works is people don't see the title until they find it in their search. And so that search becomes the real critical key element of how this works. Cover, look, Potentially. Um, I'm not sure, but again, there's not enough. But it's important to realize that you've got multiple steps here in getting someone to buy your book on the Kindle store at Amazon, and that is number one is get them to find your ebook in their initial search. So when I go to Amazon and I click in the Kindle store here, and I go to the Kindle store, the first thing I have is a search device. So they have no idea what my headline or title is at this point. The headline. That's irrelevant at this point. So it has more to do. This is more like the Google thing, which is optimizing for Google. So I think that we need to first understand, and let's try. Okay, so let's put in coaching as an example for the book that's selling well. So if I put in coaching, here's life coaching. So mine comes up pretty high for coaching. And that probably has to do with the fact that it is, that it is selling well. This guy is losing an opportunity because, this is just a general category, I guess. And I'll bet that it really ticks people off that I'm doing so well, and some of these other people have fancy pants books like from dummies and stuff like that. One of the things is that this person's making a huge mistake. This should not be priced at $11.99. It should be priced at $9.99 or less. This, of course, at $27.36, ridiculous. Nobody's going to buy it. Again, this person at $10.99, I don't know. It's probably their publisher who's pricing it that. Doesn't make any sense. This is great. This guy has a 99-cent book. There's one review, and it's 2 stars. Not going to be happening for him. So, I mean, this is, and again, this is out of 2,459 results. If you put in coaching, this person though is coming up pretty good here, and let's see if it has anything to do with the date of release. I haven't really figured that into my computation either. But again, this is obviously a pretty complex issue and a complex matter, and why it's so important is you have 2 steps. Number one, you want to get people to find you on this initial search in this term. Then the other issues become important, which is what is the look of your cover, and then so now I guess the next step is you've got to have a seductive enough title for them to click on it. Marketing your coaching services, how to double or triple your revenues as a coach or mentor. Agreed, it's a good title. So then people click here, they go to it, and so this description isn't all that much. And this sort of, again, our buddy from Hawaii is saying that this is that the title itself is what's making this work. And again, I don't know, but now I'm starting to see that maybe you have your point makes more sense, because if they can find me using coaching, and then they see this is a pretty good title. Marketing your coaching services, how to double or triple your revenue as a coach or mentor. Avish, what are your thoughts? I mean, am I missing something here?
No, I mean, I think the only thing that's missing is we don't really. Amazon offers no analytics, so for a lot of this stuff, we're just kind of shooting in the dark. Like I said, doing regression analysis, trying to make sense from all the random data.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that I can't tell whether or not the headline is working unless I were to try and change the headline and the title of this book, and then see if it would affect my results. But even then, we wouldn't be doing a perfect A/B split test. It would be during a different time period. But if I'm averaging 100 sales per month, I could always test it. The problem is, if I test it and it goes down, I'll be really pissed. So, but again, I think all of this is really, really important to understanding how information marketing works. The first thing you've got to do, and that's why I got so ticked off when my Google rankings for the term information marketing went down from 1 to 3, is that, and Stanley is working hard on that to keep his job to get me back to number 1. So I was ticked off because if they don't find you initially, then your titles or anything else don't matter. So first thing is, and by the way, let's look again. I've told people this a bunch of times, but if you click on here to get to a free sample, the first thing that I do after the title page, no, it's not being done here. I thought I told Stanley to do this with all these. Uh-oh, this is not happening. Okay, you know what, Avish, could you remind me that I need to talk to Stanley about making sure that my my free offer comes up before anything else. We got to change that.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I'm saying here, folks, is I was expecting to find what I find in most of my books, which I'll show you by putting in my name and taking you to another one, which is that on any of these books, let me just pull one up that I know it's okay. So How to Write a Book in 30 Days or Less. Let's click on what's inside, and you will notice that you get the cover, which I really don't want. I don't need to have that there. But here it is. So this is the stuff that I want you to take note of right here. And I don't know if you guys can see that. It's the find out more about the author by visiting. Let me just enlarge this here. And get your free information marketing course. And here it is with a bit. Oh, there's still a bit.ly link. We got to change that to the go.gl link. So this is front and center. This is if they download it, they will get this information. And so this is important that you make sure and have this in the first 10% of your book, which is your link to get free stuff from you. Make sure that when you do this, I'm even in some cases, and if I can find a book that gives you exactly what I'm talking about here, let me get one of the more recent ones because this will to illustrate my point. And it's I'm even putting it in before the let me find one that's really recent here. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, so now click inside. Okay, so this is, it still has the cover, but then the free offer for you as an Amazon customer. And so that's what comes up right away. So here you have it. So I would take a look at your complete guide to online publishing, how to market and sell your own ebook, your complete guide to online publishing. I would look at what I did here, folks, and I would copy it exactly, which is make sure you have this free offer to you as an Amazon customer right there front and center. You can see that. I would do and make sure you're basically copying what I'm doing there because that way I can get people bouncing back to my site. Now, I may be so bold as to try and do this. I'm probably going to make a fool of myself, but I've been known to do that before. Do you see this go.gl link here, Avish?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna see if I can. It's M. Let me just see if I can MNXHX. You know what? Let me just write that on my notepad here, and I'll tell you what I'm doing here, folks. So it's. Let me just see what that is. It's M. What is it? MN. Capital M, small n, capital X, HX. Okay, so it's that link that I'm looking for. So I'm going to go to my go.gl account here. Okay, and I'm going to look for what were the last two letters of that?
Was it XH?
XH, is that it? Let me just check here again.
I'm not 100% sure, but
XH.
like a little
okay,
X.
So XH, and I'm going to find, and it may take me a second here, but you'll see what I'm doing, folks. XH is what I'm looking for here. I don't see it there. Let's see, XH. Nope, not yet. XH, I don't see it. XH, I don't see it. Hold on, it'll be coming here. XH. Yeah, there it is. XH. Well, here's my details. I'm getting 37 clicks on this. I started doing it. So I'm not getting a huge number of clicks, but it is telling you that. And by the way, that's the only place that particular go.gl link appears. So if you haven't already done this, make sure that you go to go.gl, set up links, and if you wanted to be really sophisticated, you could put a different go.gl link in every separate ebook or e-article that you do on Kindle, and then see how much traffic you get. But so far, 37 visitors, people have clicked on it at least, that came from there. So it's doing something. It's not massive numbers, but it's doing something. So anyway, a lot of food for thought today. I hope that this has been helpful to everyone. I try and run this sort of like a college class. We usually do 50 minutes or thereabouts between 50 and 55 minutes because I know that in college, when the bell rang indicating that the class time was over, everybody ran out. So I hope that, by the way, you can always go back to the website here and click on webinars, and you will find there's tons of these Wednesday webinars that have been recorded. They are free for you to watch. Some of them have transcripts, some do not. Please go back and go through those if you haven't seen them before. I would encourage you to do that. Again, it's all 100% free. And Avish, thank you for being free for this webinar.
Sure thing.
Good, and thank you everybody else for being here, and we will see you next time, same channel.